for Weibo to just brute force and execution to snag Flandra out of the decimating smash, but Tarzan might have arrived a little too late. He does have to watch his top laner fall, but should be able to at least clean back one on debris. As Flandra's trying to beat him down.
It's so close!
Passive. Great flash from Tarzan!
Triple shove.
Weibo, big seismic shove, but Keeper's Verdict winds up and punts away one member. Shockwave is flashed by Breathe, but Tien is left isolated. And that means anyone's legend gets their kill that they were looking for and completely neutralizes the Rift Herald play. Shred through the armor until they get to those Black Cleaver power spikes, as Light might be in trouble here. No flash from the prior fight. Hope just annihilated to the use of the subjugate, and the Great Pillar forces Tien to be in a bad spot and gets chomped down to bits. Xiaohu almost at 50% HP.
But it's by Hope, who's going crazy with the corki. He's just Wing forward.
Gonna get run down anyway because Tarzan is just too damn fast.
Honest, I'm Breathe, Tien, or Light looking at this. I'm like, oh, Trundle's built butter for me, but he still just kills me. What's happening?
And they get the wall slam right on top of Tien, so now there's no smite contest coming in anytime soon from Weibo Gaming unless Chris can swap to it with his unsealed spellbook, but it's going to be a tough task to be able to pull off, and Weibo down in man, because the rest of anyone's legend is pushing up waves on the top side. They're taking a turret in the mid lane, or at least prepping for it.
Tien, you need to help this guy.
Other mini wave, and he's... he's getting a wall pick off, and this could be really big. Unstoppable onslaught from Flandra tries to stall the fight as long as possible. It's a big shutdown and goes into the pockets of Light. Shanks trying to flank with this shockwave. Still hasn't pulled the trigger quite yet. Kyle gets dropped by Tien. Weibo trying to pull a miracle. The shockwave only catches one on the Xiaohu, but doesn't drop him. And Hope cannot get into this fight. He's trying to play around Shanks' range, but the rest of Weibo Gaming are playing with absolute fire. But Hope blows up crisp, and now looking to turn tail onto Xiaohu. Everyone is so low. Hope has to go forward, but he's baited in by Weibo.
He's doing it.
Breathe, and he drops Light as well.
Because they could get Pays. He was a player that got replaced by Ruler as well at a certain point in his career. Like, he was an AD carry who was always incredibly well sought after, but just not that top tier. And now Weibo, though, they're looking to fight once again.
As much damage because they're all right on top of him. Breathe rejoins the fight. Chris
Shockwave!
Trying to do as much as he can, but the Shockwave is great. It catches Light and Crisp in the folly. And Weibo are now running for their lives. Xiaohu tries to distance himself away with the Weaver's Wall and trying to kite as he throws rock after rock. But those rocks ain't doing shit as anyone's legend wipe the floor with Weibo Gaming, and they push in for the base win.
Clean ace. Game number 1 goes to AL. Weibo tried as they might. They fought back in this game, but they weren't able to do the work. A great keeper's verdict from Kyle, and now they'll do the victory march.
AL had a lot to say after their loss against BLG last night, and the way they are stomping Weibo in this first game leaves a lot for promising in the series.
So to continue the point, the
pick, but they just overplayed their hand, and it's first blood for Weibo.
Yeah, and now, you know, a little bit of trouble here for Hope. His level 6 on Light means he's probably going to go jumping in.
Yeah, Hope has barrier and flash, but Light will commit both summoner spells. Oh!
Takes him down.
No. And now Shanks might be in trouble as well. No Fate Seal. He's forced to flash over the wall as well. Tien around, stalling as much time as he can, but eventually it does guarantee the feats of warfare secured for Weibo Gaming.
That pretty darn quickly. Taking that Executioner's calling early on the
other side, so now Shanks has to wind up that third Q so that he can get over the wall, but he commits for the kill onto Tien, but the Emperor's Divide pushes them and pins them against the wall. Curtain call from Hope, trying to find some bullets here for some damage. Kyle doing as much work as anyone. Tien forced with the cease and desist as Hope is now pinned into the pit. Tarzan is taken out by the rest of Weibo Gaming members. Now it's just going to be everyone trying to flash over the wall, or for Shanks' case, trying to Q3, but he gets bursted and deleted by Xiaohu on the Azir. Defense of this turret, but Kyle gets snagged by the quickness. Flandra eats Chris for breakfast, and now the rest of AL have got to run. Here comes Xiaohu, who's going to look for the Emperor's Divide angle. Tarzan tries to step up and slow him in his tracks, but he's just autoing with the Sand Soldiers. He doesn't even need to swoop in with the Emperor's Divide. Flandra gets picked off here by the Dark Procession. A good knockup with the Rupture only just delays the inevitable, and Weibo Gaming continuing to run the show.
Yeah, 3 for 2 here, but it's the way that the wave is set and the way that that fight looks that means that AL are very strong, and another late flash.
He's just going to get soloed by Light. The barrier comes out, but one more auto attack. That's the power of the Kraken Slayer Kaisa.
Guys, game 1 AL is looking good.
Shanks trying to flip the heads. Okay, wait,
goodbye,
Tien just got bursted. 5-on-4 now in favor of AL. This could be bad. Light caught up by the Magnet Storm, trying to use the Killer Instinct to reposition. He does escape, but now the target is Breathe. He's in trouble, and he gets bursted and feasted upon by Flandra's Shogap. Good rupture.
Double knock up.
The Q to knock up the bounce house. It's so massive. Xiaohu tries to bounce. Tarzan right back into his tower, but Weibo still relying on coming from the side of anyone's legend anytime soon, so Flandra will eventually go down. But to comment on that fight, this is something that we have seen Weibo done this very split. Oh, Hope might be in trouble now, but Kaio's here for reinforcements. Q into the deadly flourish, stuns him up. Hope trying to kite this one out. Shanks TP's right on top of it. Light just sent a solo mission just to die and hand another kill over to anyone's legend's hands. Xiaohu's gonna try to push this, but he's gonna die for this one, and not even getting a chance to get an exchange kill onto Hope.
Even then, not really the case. There's now Fry here. They'll make their way in.
Okay, Crisp and Tien link up.
Goodbye.
Nicely done.
Goodbye.
They pop Tarzan. No smite contest available unless Flandra can flash in and feast and steal the Baron. That would be just walk up and down smash to the Magnet Storm. Flandra, okay, it is secured by Breathe out of all players, but Hope just takes out Tien. Light is on the retreat. Shanks finally goes back with the Soul Unbound. But the deadly flourish, the rupture, forces the flash out of him. Shanks sends it with a Fate Seal. It has to immediately retreat back. He is caught. Xiaohu punishes, and AR now on the retreat. They have to believe in the power of Hope and Flandra and Tarzan, but Flandra drops. It's now just down to Tarzan. Xiaohu sends it! The Summer Tiger will sink his fangs into anyone's legend's last hope, and Weibo are going to bring us to Game 3 in the series.
7-0-9. Xiaohu with a mammoth performance from start to finish. Force us to Game 3.
Meanwhile, Kyle noticing that, hey, Weibo was trying to yoink away that dragon. See, he had the spellbook smite, but it's not successful, and it's first blood for Weibo. And now look for the grub. Xiaohu gonna try to finish off of the Xiaohu chunk onto Shanks, and that is just an easy 2v1 gank setup. It says, okay, buddy, nice try.
So I counted. Flandra dodged 3 out of 4 Qs there. So
they're all
Xiaohu, no
backed
flash.
up into the pit, but Tien is looking for Hope on the Lucian, the barrier, but the Fear Tether allows Tien to close the distance and take out the Lucian from this fight. Now everyone from anyone's legend has to retreat. Tari all out, Light goes in with the Arcane Shift, firing Mystic shots one after another, but they take down Breathe. Shanks going for the re-engage, Upgun upduck as Flandra flashes in, the Tether for the Fear, but he pops Crisp in the backline, and Tien is isolated. They take out who doesn't have a flash. Easy Cataclysm set up. They're all sitting ducks, and Flandra can just shoot them all down like fish in a barrel. Weibo Gaming drop 2 in exchange for Tarzan. Dragon is slowly starting to drop as Tien is now trying to force the issue, pushing in the mid wave.
Yeah, spotted on the wave, but he has ulti to get here if he needs to.
Oh, Tarzan got way too close. He's dropped immediately by Xiaohu, but the culling is doing a lot of work, and you see that the execute is threatening them, but they can turn their focus onto the Nocturne itself. Kyle in the middle of nowhere, but Flandra pops the first one onto Chris, but it is dropped over to Kyle as well. 4v4, our Tarzan sends it into the backline with the EQ. Flandra, can he cook with this Smolder? He's getting them critically low. Will the execute come through? Breathe is still
Ocean
staying
Soul,
alive. The
though.
power of the Ocean Soul is sustaining them well. Flandra now in the middle of 1v4. Shanks trying to bail him out with the slow of the Q. They find Xiaohu, but now Flandra is pinned. Breathe takes them all out over the other side of the wall, and the baby dragon is destroyed. Hope, the last one standing under the tower, immediately done away by Weibo, and now they can take their prize in the Otacon.
Never has there been a better example of why souls win games.
Weibo Gaming as, oh no, Tarzan just gets blown up. Weibo now have a man advantage, 5-4.
Jungler. Any contest here is just so difficult, and it's just not possible.
Their way out to victory here, but Shanks forced to flash away. He's on the retreat path. Tarzan comes back up, but the all-out will bring Kyle into the waiting arms of Weibo Gaming, completely isolated
For Weibo in this third game is so much higher for AL than
brings one member forward. Tien turns out the lights with the paranoia. Hope steps up onto the front line. Flandra trying to create space with his own damage on the Smolder as well. Chris almost brought low enough with the execute threshold, but not enough to die, as the rest of Weibo don't find another man outside of Kyle. Tarzan jumps into Xiaohu, forces the Cataclysm, flashes out. Shanks trying to send it, but no one can follow up. Flandra's being pinned by Breathe. They can't get the execute. Hope falls. Shanks next. Weibo will stand up to the might of anyone's legend. Not even Flandra's Smolder counterpick will save them this time. It's a full team ace, not a single member dropped from.
And 6 feet deep go AL. Weibo Gaming claw back from the victory that they desired so desperately versus top. They find it against AL, and